confidence level that the Gunners will reverse that trend and make it different this time?
A couple of weeks ago, I think when we had the midweek set of fixtures not so long ago, very confident. I said at the time, only Arsenal can stop Arsenal. But that's before City clicked into gear. And the interesting thing is that when you look at Arsenal, and we've openly said it on the show so many times, they have been incredible this season. And when we've spoken about Manchester City, they're like, oh, you know, they're lacking the consistency. They're 2 points behind Arsenal now. And for me, the game changer for Manchester City, I think Manchester City win the league. And the game changer for me was when they went to Fulham and won 5-4. All of a sudden after that, you're like, no, they've not got enough control within this team to actually win the league. And I looked at it and thought, this is for Arsenal. Since then, they've won the last 3 Premier League games, 3-0 each game, clean sheet in all those 3 games. And it's as though that was sort of a turning point for Pep Guardiola, where he was like, we need to have more control. He changed the system, got a couple of more extra midfielders. And we know second half of the season, they just get stronger and stronger and stronger.
1 vote for Man City. You going to make it 2?
Yeah, and I wrote them off at the beginning of the season. I said they'd be nowhere near a Premier League contenders. I just didn't see it at the start of the season. I think what we didn't take into consideration at the start of the season, or didn't really note where they were going to sit Manchester City, was off the back of the Club World Cup. How would that affect them during the summer? The preparation for the Premier League season. But it's almost like they front-loaded all the work in the summer, and it's allowed them to build momentum throughout the season. And now will we see the best of them? I still think there's a little bit of an unknown as to what will happen to Manchester City in terms of fatigue with the Club World Cup. But one thing you've got, and the difference is Haaland. You've got a guy who doesn't stop scoring. If they keep him fit and they keep him firing, I think they win the league. I think they've got enough. I think the big thing with Arsenal is that, yes, there is a chance they'll win the league, and there's still a very good chance they win the league. If Gyökeres can change his form and start scoring goals, then we might see a different Arsenal. At the moment, he's still adjusting to the league, still finding his feet. However, if he does find his feet, it could be very interesting.
I'm wondering how much you think history has anything to do with this. Does it actually have relevance and an effect, and a negative one, on Arsenal as we turn towards 26?
I would say experience more than probably anything to regards to what's happened before. Manchester City have been there and done it before. I can just imagine Pep Guardiola now just starting to ramp up the mind games. You know, you go back to Sir Alex Ferguson and Kevin Keegan, go back to Sir Alex Ferguson and Rafa Benitez. And we know Arteta, incredible manager. He's very emotional. And I think Pep Guardiola knows that as well, and he could play on that as well.
Yeah. History?
Yeah, I just think it'll just be difficult for Arsenal with Manchester City breathing down the neck and playing under that pressure. I think it's going to be fascinating. I think it'll go right down to the end.
If you imagine Man City winning that and it's close, it's that psychological edge that Man City have won again and Man City are coming again. I just feel like Arsenal need it just to get over the line and just start used to winning competitions.
Okay, I'll take that. I think from a winning perspective and building a winning mentality and having something tangible for your competitive efforts. But then if you don't win anything else, who cares? You know, what would
But if they don't win anything at all?
How much worse is it if they don't win anything at all and they walk away this season with just the Carabao Cup?
Huge, because at least they've won something. The argument around Arteta is that he had the FA Cup, which Unai Emery's team, and all of these different things that it's kind of tainted. It's not his thing.
In his first season.
You get what? It's not his thing. But I also think as well, sorry, Hannah, I do think when you look at Inter last year, on for the treble, win nothing.
Right.
Now you start looking at them, you're like, can they win? And the doubts and the questions that this raises, I do think is uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you look at the story behind Arsenal, the first in the Premier League, the first in the Champions League phase. I know it is only December, but like you said, Nico, for them to walk away with just the Carabao Cup, it feels very underwhelming.
They undoubtedly, in my opinion, I think they would have fallen short. Again, like they have in several seasons. Arsenal are a very, very good football team. And they've been a very good football team for many seasons. That is difficult to do. Look how many teams have one season and then they lose a player here or there and the project falls apart. And they had one good year.
Just on that then. They don't win nothing, right? We're midway through the season. They come second. They go out. Let's say they go out in the quarterfinal as well. And they go out in the quarterfinal.
But then again, it will be like we've come second again in the Premier League.
But again, that was not good enough last year. So now you've spent more.
Okay.
You've got a bigger squad. You've got better. How many players do they lose?
Do they lose this summer?
This summer. So does a Saliba leave? Does a Saka leave? Do players start to question now, are we actually ever going to win? Does the manager come under pressure now? And there's all of these different questions that come. At least winning something shows you're on the right path to do something, in my opinion.
I think they could have questioned that last year, though. You know, or maybe the year before, because when they came up so agonizingly close, it's like, oh, we have picked up a points total in this season that in, it's a classic stat. We picked up in this one that City won in the Premier League season. It's like, if we would have picked this points total in any other season, we would have won. How much more do we need to give? I think the project at Arsenal it's the best project credibility without winning in the world.
That's fine.
I don't know how much that vouches for anything really, because in football you need to win, right? But it does vouch for them doing things the right way. They have a very good football team, and it's not like they're gonna go out in the EFL Cup and throw it away because they think they're better than the EFL Cup. No, you play every single game to win. And yes, undoubtedly, it'll help Arsenal, but I think the conclusion of all of this is, sure, you got to win this, but you got to win even more.
How do you think they're going to approach tonight? Because in the last round against Brighton, they started a lot of youngsters.
Is it tonight or tomorrow?
No. Oh, sorry, tomorrow.
I'm just checking, sorry.
Sorry, Troy. Yeah. In the last round against Brighton, they started youngsters like Nwaneri, Dowman, all those sorts of players. We could see the potential return of Gabriel Jesus. How do you think they're going to be looking tonight? Do you think this is a pretty fair projected lineup?
Did you say tonight again?
Sorry, I keep saying tonight. Oh my gosh, sorry, tomorrow. The coverage is tomorrow, and I will be on it, but it's tomorrow.
Are you sure? Are you going to make it?
Check your schedule just to be sure.